You ever been part of an amazing online community, sharing a passion on social media, but you still felt like something was missing? That digital connection, it's powerful for sure, but sometimes it just hits a wall. Well, this is a story about how one group bridged that exact gap, taking their online passion into the real world to create something truly special. It's a feeling a lot of us know, right? You can reach thousands of people online, but you totally miss the spark of a real face-to-face conversation. That is exactly the wall a community of birdwatching fans hit. And you know what? They decided to do something about it. So why bother taking their community to a live event? Well, it was never about replacing their online presence. It was about adding a whole new powerful layer to it. They just knew that to really share their passion and get into the nitty-gritty of people's questions, they had to create a space for genuine face-to-face dialogue. And this, right here, this really gets to the heart of the matter. Online is incredible for sheer reach. I mean, sharing amazing photos and videos with the whole world is fantastic. But offline, that's where the magic of real connection happens. You get to see the curiosity in someone's eyes. You can answer their questions right on the spot, and you build this shared understanding that, let's be honest, text on a screen just can't compete with. Now, they didn't just show up and hope for the best. No way. They actually developed a really clear three-part strategy to make their booth a must-see spot. They called it the 3 pillars. A simple but, as you'll see, incredibly powerful framework designed to turn casual passersby into genuinely engaged participants. So, the pillars were set up to cover all the bases. First, you gotta capture their imagination. Second, give them a sense of purpose. And third, get people directly involved. It's a brilliant flow, really. So let's break each one down. Pillar number 1 was all about that initial spark of inspiration. They used their best, most stunning photos, but they didn't just hang them on a wall. Nope. Each one had a story behind it. They also made these super simple leaflets with real tips for beginners, making sure to avoid all the complicated jargon. The goal? Pure and simple. Just share the absolute joy of birdwatching. Okay, next, they shifted gears a bit, moving from joy to responsibility. Pillar 2 was all about education. They used their platform to talk about the real threats to local birds, things like habitat loss. But here's the crucial part. They didn't just present problems, they offered solutions. They showed how every single person could help out and promoted a respectful way to enjoy the hobby. And the final piece of the puzzle? It was all about interaction. Pillar 3 was designed to get people's hands dirty, so to speak. They had a kids' corner with bird call quizzes and replica eggs. That was, as you can imagine, a huge hit. Plus, they ran workshops for adults on stuff like photography. The entire goal was to transform the experience from just looking at things to actually doing things. So the plan was solid. You can see that. But the real magic, well, that happened in those unscripted moments, in all the little conversations that just sparked up around the booth. This is where the true value of being in a real place became crystal clear. Among the crowds of visitors, one conversation really stood out. An elderly woman who had been a passionate birdwatcher for years and years came up to them. She confessed that she was feeling a little bit stuck, that the excitement of discovering new things had started to fade for her. The team just chatted with her, shared some info about a few new observation spots and some rare birds they'd seen lately. Her whole face just lit up. And as she was leaving, she turned and said, "Thank you, I feel like I can try again." That one sentence, that single human connection, wow. It made the entire event worthwhile. It was an absolute treasure. And that powerful moment, that was just the tip of the iceberg. The team quickly realized that the event wasn't just about them giving out information. It was a powerful two-way street that ended up benefiting everyone who was there. Probably the most surprising outcome was that they went there thinking they were the teachers, but they ended up learning just as much, if not more. They got these incredible questions from beginners that made them rethink their own assumptions. They got priceless advice from veterans and even picked up new ideas from other exhibitors. It really became a true community moment. Of course, a little practical planning went a long, long way. Their success wasn't just an accident. It was built on some key details. They had clear teamwork, so everybody knew their role. Their booth was designed with vivid photos and some greenery to make it feel like an inviting little oasis. They were smart and snagged a high-traffic spot right near the entrance. And, maybe most importantly, they just kept a constantly welcoming, smiling presence. These small things, they made a huge difference. This whole experience really offers a powerful model, and not just for birdwatchers, but for anyone with a passion they share online. And it prompts a really important question for all of us to think about. So think about it for a second. What's your passion, your hobby, your skill, your community? Just imagine taking one small step to bring that enthusiasm out into a shared physical space. Think about the incredible connections you could build. Because ultimately, that's the big takeaway here. While the digital world is an amazing tool for reaching people, the absolute best stage for building true empathy, for creating those unforgettable moments of connection, that is and always will be in a real place.